And it says their eyes stand out with fatness and they have more than heart could wish. Yeah, these devils have everything that a man wishes for, man. And I'm talking about the very few, especially the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers. You know, all of these individuals, they have the world in their hands, man. They can get anything they want. They can get any woman they want. They can go anywhere in the world. They can dwell in the most beautifulest places in the world. They can go to places that no one has ever seen before. Set up houses there and literally live there. All right. They got everything, man. But yet and still, they want more and more. They're not satisfied with what they already got. And by them being unsatisfied, it's going to lead them to eventually get away from that position that they got. And the Lord is going to come back anyway to take away that position of having everything and being on the top level of life. Living a high life. Let me use that word. All right? That's all going to be gone. They're going to lose it all, baby. So it says, therefore pride compasseth them about. Psalms 73 verse 6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, and violence covered them as a garment. Exactly. Because how did they get this society, like I've said earlier before? By violence, by shedding blood. And they still shedding blood more so. It hasn't stopped. Okay, it says their eyes stand up with fatness, and they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, and they set their mouths against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doeth the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? And that's their mentality. There's no knowledge in the Most High. And because knowledge to them is the knowledge of wickedness. But to us, that's not wisdom and understanding, because through the wisdom and understanding of wickedness, which is no wisdom according to the Apocrypha, all you're going to do is pretty much shoot yourself in the foot eventually. That's what happens eventually. You know, when you keep doing the wrong that you do to people, it comes around and it backfires. Like an exhaust pipe. So anyway, Psalm 73 verse 13. Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. That's the that's the life of the average Israelite man. And more so the brothers in the faith, because we're chastened every day. Okay? And that could either mean by some brothers having to deal with their poor health, or you may have a job where you have people that's getting on your nerves. It could be your boss or whoever it is. Or you may have wife and children and they getting on your damn nerves. So we're chastened, man. We're going through things every single day, man. And it's like every day is like a fight. And then in some cases, man, like you got to deal with certain problems that come from your own brothers in your own camp at times, man. So it's like every time you get up, there's some kind of a problem you're dealing with, man. I mean, there's times where you have your good days, but most of your days are bad days. You know? So it reads, if I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, and then I understood their end. And that's what we've done. We've came into the sanctuary of the Most High, which is this truth. So before we came into the truth, we was in the world and we was envious. We wanted this, we wanted that. And or we probably already knew that Edomites were evil, wicked people, and we were wondering how come they're prospering so much. But then we come to realize when we woke up who they are, and that they have a time period to rule, to live deliciously. But their time is very limited, pursuant to the book of Job, the 14th chapter. The Lord gave them a portion of time to rule, just like how he did every other nation. Okay? And so does the so-called white man, the Edomite. They have an appointed time to rule. Job 14:5, seeing his days are determined, and the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Again, so there's a period of time that this devil is going to come back and rule the earth. And pursuant to the book of, what is it, Revelations, the 20th chapter, it says that the red dragon, or the beast, its deadly wound would be healed, which the dragon and the beast, the red dragon, the scarlet colored beast, let me put it that way, the scarlet colored beast, which is also represents the Roman Empire coming back all over again. And we're in the revival version of the Roman Empire right now. And that it would be loosed a little season. So this scarlet colored beast would be loosed a little season. In other words, this Roman system would be in its little season. And when you really do the math, Esau didn't really come into power until like the 1700s. Because prior before the 1700s, Esau was on the come up. But they became situated, their power was consolidated around that time. So when we deal with the let's just say 1776, when the Illuminati founders came in effect, right? Around that time, you could say that's when Esau kind of began to get his rule on, so to speak. And when you do the math, that's like less than 250 years since they've been in power. So that's 6 days to the Most High. So that's that beast being loosed a little seasoned. All right. So let's read this again. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then understood I their end. So when we came into the truth, we understood who this devil was and why he was able to get away from what he was getting away from in terms of the wickedness that he has done. And then we now understand that we have a kingdom coming and that we are going to see their end coming simultaneously. And they're going to pay for what their forefathers have done. Okay? Ezekiel 35, verse 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Say if thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right? So blood will pursue the people of Esau and Edom in many forms of fashions, but the ultimate way that blood will pursue them is through the Heavenly Father and His Son, which Yahushua is going to make a second return, as you can read in the book of Isaiah 63. Okay? Which is a prophecy in the Old Testament showing on how the Lord is going to gun for Edom in the most violent way possible. And when the Lord comes back, He's going to massacre these Edomites big time. Deuteronomy 32 verse 39. See now that I, even I am He, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. So this abominable old fart passed away, and that was the will of the Lord. The will of the Lord allowed this man to pass away. He could have lived to 110 years old. He could have lived to 86 years old, but the Lord allowed him to pass on at that particular age, 99. It was his time to go. So when he comes back in the reincarnation, as these men do believe in reincarnation anyway, what's going to happen? He's going to be born into slavery. All right? As well as they know what reincarnation is, we also know what that is as well. And when this individual comes back, his spirit comes back in a new body, he's going to pretty much be born into captivity. He's going to be born into a world where he's going to see his parents, his mother and his father in captivity. And he's going to be in captivity. And his whole entire race will be in captivity. That's what these people got to look forward to in the future. Deuteronomy 32, verse 39 again. See now that I, even I am He, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal, and neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward them that hate me. Exactly. And I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. So eventually the Lord is going to pay them back for the deeds that they have done, because the Lord's enemies are indeed the other nations, but the ultimate enemy of the Lord is the man that he created to be abominable, and that's Esau. That's the ultimate enemy right now in this age, in these latter days of the Lord. The enemy of the Lord are these Edomites. And when the Lord comes back, the Lord is going to clean massacre these Edomites. And these Edomites, the ones that of them that remain on the earth, they're going to be very careful, and they're going to have a totally different attitude when it comes to the Israelite man. And they're going to be scared shitless. Okay, so hey, that's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say. You know, this abominable individual passed on. He's in a spiritual realm now. Now he knows the truth as to who he really is. And he also knows the truth that the Heavenly Father is a so-called black man. So with that, I'm out. Shalom.